Welcome back to Dukascopy TV. I'm Elaine Stenson. I'm joined in the studio now by Cédric Roland-Gosselin, who's CEO with Petercam Banque Privée here in Geneva. He's here with me now to discuss the Swiss referendum result that was out on Sunday. Cédric, you're very welcome to the studio.
Morning.
So, what did you think of the result that was out on Sunday? Were you surprised by the outcome?
Well, I think we have been surprised, but I think everybody has been surprised. The people in Switzerland, different politicians, but also all around Europe. It has been quite a large surprise that this referendum has been passed, because it has been quite short. 50.3% is very close. And now we have to see what will be the consequences. It will be a big question for the future.
Okay, and EU officials have described the outcome as disappointing, while France have expressed their worry at the results. Mm-hmm. Were you taken aback by the result in this sense as well? Do you think it's worrying?
Well, I think it's worrying because this is an expression, maybe in a difficult situation all around Europe, about the European construction and the fact that Europe is bringing more wealthy and good environment for the future. But the paradox is that in Switzerland there's quite a good situation. Actually, there's no problem of unemployment. So the Swiss people, in their sovereignty, they decided maybe that it's enough and there's too much immigration in the country. But the result is that probably a bit mitigated by the fact that where you have the more immigration is where people have been voting against, like for example Geneva. At the other side, yes, we will have to take this new outcome as a part of the discussion with the EU. And I think in Europe it's the big worrying about the spread of this kind of belief all around Europe.
And how will the referendum result affect relations between Switzerland and the EU?
Well, today you have now a new limit for the Schengen environment, and where Switzerland has decided to take some measures. The important thing will be how the government will tackle this issue and what will be the measures in the discussion with Europe. So today we have decided that the Commission and the government will have discussion in the following months, and we'll see what will be the outcome. But I think the biggest worry all around Europe is that in 4 months to now, you will have elections, European elections. And I think if you have the same kind of referendum in different other countries, it will not be 50%, but it will be 60 or 70%. And I think European leaders, they have now to convince their people that Europe is bringing wealth and prosperity for them. And it's maybe a bit difficult today.
Okay, and you mentioned the Schengen area now, the passport-free zone in Europe. And Switzerland, as we know, is not part of the EU, but it is part of the Schengen area. And does this new referendum result pose a threat to the Schengen?
Yes, and also I think what is important for Switzerland is to keep those gates open. Those gates open because we are very dependent on the European zone. So we are trading with them. Actually, we are giving a lot of services, and we would like also to have more and more influence on this subject. So maybe now we will have a better equilibrium in discussion, less unilateral that it has been in the past months between the Commission and Switzerland. So maybe we will have a better power of negotiation with Europe to obtain more from Europe.
And do you think there will be any economic implications for Switzerland due to the results? Or what implications would you be most concerned about?
Well, actually, I'm not too worrying about the economic situation in Switzerland and the consequences. Actually, Switzerland is an island in the middle of Europe. We have 3% of an unemployment rate. That's great. I mean, it's one of the best in all around Europe. We have growth, 2.5% for 2014. I mean, it's a level that everybody is expecting with a lot of envy all around Europe. So, and we haven't seen a change in the forex between Swiss francs and euro. So I think maybe it's also a signal that we are not too worrying about the consequences. But I think we will see those consequences in a lot of time. But
do you think that the Swiss people were worried about upsetting the status quo and things changing if there's more immigration that they couldn't control? because you said yourself it has one of the lowest unemployment rates anywhere. So things are pretty good in Switzerland now. If there's more people coming in, it might rock the boat a bit. Do you think that this would have had an impact on their attitude?
Yeah, maybe it has been less a problem of jobs and economic situation than a problem of maybe security or conditions, infrastructure condition in Switzerland. You had a lot of immigration in the past years, and finally Swiss people look at this immigration as a consequence, problem of security, problem of infrastructure, transportations, cities. And so I think today it's maybe this kind of preoccupation that has been raised by these votes more than probably a problem of jobs or economic situation.
Okay. Cédric, thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
Pleasure. Thank you.
And that's all we have time for now, but do check back later for further updates and for further interviews from the TV team. Bye for now.